Hello, and welcome to my deep dive yoga course. My intention for this course is to share with you what I have gained through my own practice, and this is 10 plus years of very disciplined, strict Ashtanga, dedicated spiritual and yoga practice. And I really feel like the world of yoga that we live in today can be very surface level. It can be all posture led, so we see all of these fancy postures and we kind of think that that is what yoga is. And I'm coming from a real place of having the transference of knowledge and wisdom in my body from learning from teachers that have been through a really traditional lineage, that there's actually much more to the practice. There's 8 limbs to yoga, and the asanas, the postures, are just one of them. So my intention for this course is to really delve deep into all limbs of yoga and to share my own experience of them, my understanding of yoga and what it's actually for. And this is combining all of my other experience with different types of modalities of training, of energy movement, of different types of energy work, breath work, and combining them all together to put together a more understandable version of what yoga actually is. So saying that, what is yoga? And the word yoga actually means union, so union with body and breath. And that is the core of the practice. It is to combine the body with the breath in unison so that they are flowing very freely, very in unison, almost seamlessly. And this creates a state of pure awareness, pure consciousness, and pure focus. So it's actually a meditative state. So yoga in its essence is a moving meditation. And not many people know that that is actually one of the main goals of yoga, is to get into that state of being in a moving meditation. And also another goal, if you want to put a goal on it, of yoga is to actually be able to sit in a seated posture for meditation. So the body needs to be comfortable to be able to sit for long periods of times. And in order for the body to be comfortable, it needs to be conditioned, it needs to be flexible. Like we all know the lotus posture, super hard to sit in if you're from the West and you've got really tight hips from sitting on chairs all of our lives. So asanas, the yoga postures, are just one limb of yoga. And if we look at yoga on an energetic level, we are looking at all different layers of our body. So it's not just the physical, we have an auric field, and we have the energetic body, we have the nervous system, we have the fluids, the internal system, the energy that moves through us. And in the core of it, we have our emotional state. So the gross physical body is just one aspect of this. And we tend to attach the most meaning to this because it's tangible. We can touch it, we can see it, we can feel it. But actually we have, if you imagine ourselves as like a big atom, a big cell, we have an energy field that goes around us as well, which is our aura. It's our auric field, and that spreads out wider again. So yoga is actually combining movements that hones the full energetic field. So you're bringing the breath in, inhaling, inspiring, exhaling, expiring. And breath actually means life and death. So when we inhale, we're breathing in life. When we exhale, we're expiring and we're dying, basically, essentially. And this is why the breath is so important, because the longer and the fuller and the more expansive you can make your breath, the longer, the fuller, the more expansive you can make your life. So the whole point of honing the breath is to slow down the heart rate, to fine-tune the nervous system so that you can bring yourself into a parasympathetic state, which is a relaxed rest digest state. And we have 2 levels of our nervous system. One is super stressed, alert, ready for action, which is the sympathetic, and the parasympathetic is more softer, ready for meditation, more relaxed, more calm. So one, we have an elevated heart rate, which might be good if we're going to go do exercise or something action-based. And the other one is more for relaxation, meditation, if we need some chill. So if we are living in a stress state the whole time, we want to bring balance to that by introducing some of the more meditative practices. And we can actually change your state with the breath work. So pranayama is another aspect of yoga. And that is why the breath is so important, because we have the ability to really master ourselves through honing this energy that is through the life force energy, the prana, the breath. And that is what the first module is all about. It's prana, moving life force energy, cultivating it so that we can use it for what we want to create in this world. So yoga is basically personal mastery. It is a service for your body on every level: energetic, physical, emotional. So we've got many layers to ourselves that we're not really aware of because we can't see them, but we can feel them. And yoga brings new awareness to it. There's a set of, we'll say, guidelines that you can follow in yoga, and they're all for bettering every layer of your energy system, basically. So there's cleansing practices, Kriya Yoga. There is withdrawal of the senses, which is bringing the awareness internal. There's loads of different meditation practices. There's different breathwork practices. There's drishtis, gaze points, to bring your attention to certain areas. So it's all about honing the energy, cleansing the auric fields, cleansing the internal as well as the external, and obviously the postures as well that really fine-tune the actual physical, so that we are eventually able to sit comfortably for long periods of time so that we can meditate. And what is the purpose of that? It's the union with consciousness. So this bubble that we live in, our auric field, which is, if you imagine us as just being a cell on this earth that has a consciousness, we are communicating with everyone else's cells. So on an energetic level, and this is proven on science, it's just frequencies. We are all just energy. We're all made of the same stuff, just in different densities. And as we go further out into the greater universe, the densities get different. And we have an ability to hone our system to communicate further out, so further away. And this is where psychic ability comes in, where an ability to channel will come in, where you will get downloads from different densities of energy, basically, and they're just different frequencies. And the more you tune this instrument that is you, the more access you get to different frequencies, the more you're able to tune into other frequencies. So this is about, yoga is about cleaning the channel, basically, clearing and cleaning the channel on every level. So on a physical level, we pay attention to the diet as well as our actual body, the cleansing practices that we do to clean out our system. And this all just makes your chi, your energy, your life force flow better. And we then pay attention to who we have in our awareness, our emotional wellness, and how we feel internally. We have to go into childhood trauma sometimes. We all have micro trauma that we have to work through in order to cleanse our emotional state so that we can bring our body and our energy and our emotions into a state of complete balance. And that balance is where the bliss is, the euphoria, the samadhi, what everyone talks about in yoga is samadhi, it's enlightenment. And it is to get into a state that you're such a master of your own energy that you can really never be knocked. So nothing will knock you. The storms won't knock you, the people shouting at you, wars. You will just be solid in a space of presence, here and now, which is the whole purpose of meditation, to bring you to here and now, to present moment, because all we have is the present moment. So yoga is really very scientific and very intelligent practice that has been designed to cultivate every layer of this body that we have. One of the most important aspects of yoga is to practice. Practice, practice, practice. Practice and all is coming, as the Guruji used to say. That was his favorite phrase, was to do your practice and all is coming. So this is about showing up on your mat and cultivating a daily practice so that you really get the physical and energetic experience of the magic of yoga. I have to admit, it took me a good few years before I fully connected to how we can feel our energy internal and how we can move energy through the breath, and really connecting the breath to the body. And it just takes repetition, it takes showing up, it takes you really going deeper. And in a space of not knowing, you're just exploring, you're being curious with your body, but you're showing up consistently for yourself to fine-tune this instrument. And yoga really is a service for the body, so it is all about servicing it regularly on a daily basis if you can. And I used to practice 6 days a week and just take Saturdays off, and that's the traditional way that yoga is practiced in Mysore, and that's a place in India. And it's really done in that very disciplined way. Now I practice a little bit less because I'm not so intense with it, but I really feel like a period of that kind of discipline really stands to you, because you get to really hone your energy and connect to your body in new ways that you've never really explored before. So we know how we feel when we exercise. We have the blood moving through our body, our heart rate's elevated, we're sweating, we're expiring, we're feeling great, we have these endorphins rushing through us. There is a subtler layer that we're not aware of when we're so focused on the body, the physical density, And I've really connected to this subtle layer through yoga. So through bringing my awareness and my senses inwards, you can actually feel the internal goings on in your body. You can feel the flows of energy, you can feel the blood, you can feel the heartbeat, you can feel subtleties. And it's only through dedication and regular tuning in can you access these parts of you. So for me, that's one of the core pieces of information that I did not get when I started yoga. So the reason I'm sharing this course is to give you the nuggets that really came to me through my own practice, that nobody told me at the start. Had somebody told me that that's what I was looking for, maybe I would have been directed towards doing that or cultivating it sooner. And it's not about getting somewhere, but it's about having good information so that you can then go and explore and experience things for yourself. Being curious with your own body, being curious with your energy field, being curious with your emotions. And yoga really shows you how you feel every day. So you show up on your mat every day, you get to feel all of you get to feel all of the decisions that you made yesterday. So were you eating a lot, drinking, you didn't sleep very well, you had an argument with your partner, whatever is going on in your life, you really feel it on the mat the next day. So for me, yoga really influenced and infiltrated my whole life. So all of my lifestyle choices became about how was I going to feel on the mat the next day. And this is kind of the magic of how it can integrate into your whole life and really influence how you are and how you function as a human. So on a personal mastery level, you become much more effective, much calmer state all day because you've spent a certain amount of time in the morning already honing and developing and cultivating your energy. You've been breathing for an hour or so, or even more. I used to do it for 3 hours. So you're already full of this life force pranic energy. And then you can choose where to expend that energy throughout the day and also how to manage it, because you have this new awareness to this internal energy system that is kind of not inner awareness because we're so focused on the external. So yoga is all about bringing the external internal and the internal external. So we're breathing in the air from the external, we're assimilating it, we're integrating with it, we're mixing with it inside our body, and then we're exhaling, expiring it back out into the consciousness, into the universe, into the collective. So it's about merging the greater consciousness and the greater energy field with your energy field. So it's internal, external, and this is the core of the practice basically. And just to explain that a little bit from different modalities of training, so we have this auric field and we have like exercises such as Qigong and Tai Chi and karate and different kind of katas and vinyasas. And it's vinyasa in yoga where you're doing the sun salutation, where you're moving your arms in certain directions, and these directions are actually moving the energy through your auric field. So some teachers get very pedantic about what way to face your hands, closed hands or open hands, different mudras and different things. And it's not because they're being dogmatic, well sometimes they are, but there are very scientific, intelligent reasons as to why we need to pay attention to these things. And it's like in Qigong, where you do certain things with your hands, like your hands are together and you're moving the energy of your field, and you can actually feel it when you are able to tune into these densities. You can feel your hands moving the energy. And in the sun salutations, for example, we bring our arms up and we're supposed to bring them down in a certain way. But some people change it and they bring it down through the center. It's all fine, but actually it was designed to go down this way to clean the auric field. So there's a reason for everything. And this is why I love the practice so much. It's super intelligent. So there's so much magic in it and there's so much to share. So this course is all about me sharing everything that I have, as much as I have, about yoga and about my experience with it and my understanding of it. And I really hope that it helps you to connect to it on a deeper level. It helps you to develop a more spiritual practice, a more energetic practice, and more awareness of what meditation is actually, as opposed to what we think it is. So please feel free to interact with me as much as possible. Ask me questions. The more questions I get, the more you will get from this course. And anything that you have that is confusing and want more clarity on, drop me an email, pop a comment in the comments box. Whatever way you feel to contact me is great. If you want to send me videos of your own practice for feedback, absolutely feel free to do that. I want you to get the most from this course, and I really would love for you to go on this journey with me and engage yourself with the practices and the little tasks and the follow-up practices that I will send you as well. So lots of love and peace and namaste. See you in the next module.